Hello, and welcome to Case Management Goals Training. In this training, we will be going over how to create, complete, and follow up on a goal. The goals workflow is as follows. You would enter the correct Enter Data As mode. You would add the client to your favorites. You would add yourself as Case Manager. You would go to your client's Case Plans tab. You would add a goal, and then you will follow up and close the goal. How to enter data as. You always want to make sure you're entered into the appropriate project. This is something you should do as soon as you log into HMIS. The picture below shows you how to click the correct Enter Data As mode. How to add a client to favorites. You would click the star once you're in your client's profile. The star can be located on the top right corner of your client's page. Once clicked, your client will show under the Favorites tab for easy access. Your Favorites tab will show on your left-hand side of your page. How to add yourself as Case Manager. You would click Add Case Manager under the Case Managers tab in the client's profile. Please reference picture 1. Then you will select Me as the type and make sure the information populated is correct, as you can see in picture 2. You will select Add Case Manager, and your information will be present, as you can see in picture 3. But please note, once you're no longer working with the client, you want to go back and add an end date. How to add a goal. You will select Add Goal from the Case Plans tab. Then you will select the household member the goal is for. You will select yourself as Case Manager, and please just make sure the provider and the date is correct. You would choose the classification. Then you would choose the type from the drop-down. You can select the overall status. Please note it will likely be in progress when creating a goal. And then finally, you would add a follow-up date if needed and click Add Goal to create the goal. How to add a case note. Once your goal is created, you would scroll down and click Add Case Note. You would add yourself as Case Manager again. Then you would enter a note that is related to the goal created. Once the note is finished, you would hit Save Case Note. How to follow up on a goal. There are 2 ways that you can follow up if you've entered a follow-up date. You may go to your client's profile and then click on the Case Plans tab and then hit the pencil icon to edit the goal. Or you will be able to see the goal under your follow-up list on your home page. You will simply just hit Goal to edit. How to close the goal after follow-up. You would change the overall status from in progress to closed. You would enter the appropriate outcome, whether it was abandoned, achieved, partially achieved, or revised. You would set the current date next to the outcome. To ensure the goal is removed from your home page, answer the follow-up made, completed follow-up date, and outcome at follow-up.
Hi, and welcome to Case Management Training. This section will cover a few basic functions that every project may use. These functions can be valuable assets in managing client caseloads. While these features have no federal requirements, your agency may have internal requirements surrounding these functions. So please refer to your agency for additional guidance on this matter. Let's begin. I'm currently on the home page, and before continuing, always remember to be in the correct Enter Data As mode. My page has the backdate mode, but your page may look different. I have backdated in advance for training purposes. Now, I will search for my client in the system. To do so, I will go to the Clients tab. In my scenario, I will search for their Social Security number. It looks like they're in the system, as well as some other names, so you just want to make sure that you have the correct client. I can navigate to the client's profile by clicking on the client's name or the pencil icon next to their record. Both options will take me to their default page. For me, this is the Client Profile tab, but for some, it may be the Summary tab. In my scenario, I will be working with this client on a regular basis. As a result, before continuing, I will add the client to my Favorites section. To do so, I will simply click on the star at the top right corner. Once clicked, the client will appear under my Favorites. If I hover over the record, it will give me more information about this client. And this section will allow me to jump to the client's profile by clicking on the appropriate link and skipping the search altogether. Now, I'm going to navigate to the Case Managers tab. This tab allows you to add yourself as case manager. So to start, simply click the Add Case Manager button. A pop-up will appear, and you will select the Me button as type. You can add yourself to the case manager for all members of the household or for the head of household only. After selecting the Me button, your information should automatically populate. If any of this information is incorrect for you, please contact the HMIS Help Desk to have it corrected. In order to finalize yourself as a case manager, click the Add Case Manager button. You will now see a list of your information and previous case managers. Please note you must end your case manager status when you are no longer working with this client. To do so, simply reopen the tab by clicking the pencil icon. And all you will have to do is input an end date. For training purposes, I will leave it open. However, you can see here that this case manager has inputted an end date and it has shown as a retired case manager. Now, let's continue and navigate to the Case Plan tab. Here we can set goals, which can be a convenient way to track important steps you and your client are working towards. To begin, add the Add Goal button. After clicking the Add Goal button, a pop-up will appear. In the Household Member section, you can apply the goal to multiple household members. Still, most goals are person-specific and will not apply to the entire family. In this scenario, we will not include the other household members, only the head of household. Let's discuss the additional fields we must complete. First, take note of the Provider field. The listed provider should be correct. If it is not, you are not in the correct Enter Data As mode. So you will need to exit and get into the correct EDA Enter Data As mode before continuing. Next is the Case Manager field. This dropdown will only include users added as a case manager. If you do not see yourself, please exit the screen and add yourself as case manager before doing so. Next is the date goal was set. This will populate automatically with the current date or historical date if you are in backdate mode. You will now complete the classification. This dropdown has a list of general goal types you can select from. For the purpose of this training, I will select healthcare coverage. Next, you may enter a goal description. While this may be helpful, it is not strictly required. We also have the type field. The type is a subset of options based on your classification selection. So in my scenario, the options under type will all be related to healthcare coverage. We also have the target date. However, this field is also not required. If desired, you may enter a target date for the completion of the goal. Finally, we have the overall status. Please select the appropriate option from the drop-down. Since we just started this goal, the overall status would be in progress. The next two tabs will be left blank. These fields will be completed upon a goal's closure. There's also an optional follow-up section that is located within the box at the bottom. Filling out this section will allow you to quickly go to the goal and make updates. To begin, complete the projected follow-up date. This is going to be the date that you want to follow up with the goal. For our scenario, I will put 1 month out. Next, select yourself in the follow-up user field. Make sure, again, you're in the correct EDA, and then you will have your name to select from. This automatically populates in some cases. If an alternate person is selected here, then you will not be notified about the follow-up the user has. Meaning the user in this field will be the one to get that follow-up information. The final three sections, follow-up made, completed follow-up date, and outcome at follow-up, will be left blank until a follow-up is made. For now, click Add Goal, and the screen will expand downwards. Here, you may add case notes. You can add an action steps plan and service item for this goal. The service item for this goal is not utilized at this point in time. In order to provide a complete case note, simply select the Add Case Note button, and a pop-up will appear. First, ensure the provider is correct as well as the date. And remember to add yourself as case manager. Finally, you'll complete the note section. This note should be related to the specific goal it is attached to. In this case, I should write a note about the steps taken to get my client health insurance. Once complete, click the Save Case Note button, and a record will appear under the Case Notes section. In a moment, I will show you how to edit a case note. The next section we see, Action Steps Plan, can be used to divide our goal into even smaller items. We will not cover this section in this training. However, you will be offered the opportunity to take an optional and more detailed training and on the follow-up and action steps section. That training is completely optional and for informative purposes only. In the meantime, we will select Save and Exit. And you can now see your goal under the Goals tab. Please note that you may add multiple goals at once. Before I move on, I want to touch on how to edit case notes. I will move to the Notes column and click on the Notes icon. This pop-up appears with listing all the case notes associated with the relevant goal. You may edit or delete the case notes on the screen. You may have also noticed the print button. By selecting this button, another pop-up will appear. You may select the appropriate options and then hit print. From here, you may also add another case note, delete, or edit your current case note. Just want to highlight that you are able to print your entire case plan here as well. Before continuing, I would like to show you how to complete a follow-up. I will exit the backdate mode . Now that I am out of backdate mode, I will go to my home page. In my scenario, it is 1 month later and the goal has been met. As a result, we need to update the goal and close it. First, I will select the client from my favorite section, which has allowed me to skip the search altogether. Now I can go to the Case Plans tab and click the appropriate goal. To edit, I can click the pencil icon. I would like to show you another method to accomplish this as well. First, I will exit the screen and head back to the home page. On this page, there's a section labeled Follow-up List. If you remember, when we used the follow-up section earlier in the case goal, well, this section is where the reminder will populate. In order to update the correct goal, all I have to do is click on the goal and it will jump straight to the relevant section. Now I can close the goal. First, you'll complete the overall status. Please select Goal Closed for goal closure. Next is the If Closed, What Was the Outcome section. Select the most appropriate option. Was your goal abandoned, achieved, partially achieved, or revised? I will hit Achieved. However, if it was partially complete, it asked you to list the percentage complete. And then you'll see a list of percentages. Please also complete the associated date field to the right. I will enter today's date. I also have these icons to either set the current date, to clear the date, or to choose a date. Remember to also complete the follow-up section. If you do not, it will remain on your home page indefinitely. First, complete the follow-up made field. Was a follow-up made? Yes or no? Either a yes or no option will remove the goal from your home page. Next, complete the date and outcome in the follow-up field. Be sure to edit your final case notes you may have as well. Completed follow-up date will be today's date, and the outcome at follow-up. Once complete, select Save and Exit to exit and close the goal. You are now back on the main case plan screen. The goals line will update with the appropriate information. As you can see, the status is now closed and the outcome was achieved. You may add any file attachments relating to case plans here, or you may go to the Client's Profile tab and add file attachments under the File Attachments tab. This is a conclusion of Case Management module. Thank you so much for watching.